Imagine opening a brand new Apple laptop, seeing the iconic logo, feeling the premium metal design, and then realizing you paid only $599 for it. Yes, you heard that right. For years, Apple laptops have been known as some of the most expensive devices in the world. Many people dream about owning a MacBook, but the price usually pushes them away. But now something surprising has happened. Apple may have created the most affordable MacBook ever, and it's called the MacBook Neo. But here's the big question. Is this actually a powerful budget laptop? Or is it simply a cheaper MacBook with big compromises? Today we're going to take a deep dive into everything about the MacBook Neo, the design, the performance, the battery life, the real-world experience, and most importantly, is this $599 MacBook actually worth buying? Let's find out. For a long time, Apple laptops have followed a simple rule: premium design, powerful chips, and a price tag that often starts above $1,000. That's why the idea of a $599 MacBook sounds almost unbelievable. The MacBook Neo changes that idea completely. This device is designed to bring the Apple laptop experience to people who previously couldn't justify spending over $1,000 on a computer. Students, casual users, and first-time Mac buyers are clearly the target audience. But even with this lower price, Apple still wants the MacBook Neo to feel like a real MacBook. So let's start with the very first thing people notice when they open the box: the design. Design and build quality. One thing Apple rarely compromises on is design. The moment you look at the MacBook Neo, it still feels very much like a MacBook. The clean aluminum body, the smooth edges, and the minimalist look all follow Apple's classic design language. Even though this is the cheapest MacBook ever, it doesn't look cheap at all. The laptop is thin, lightweight, and easy to carry around in a backpack. This makes it perfect for students, travelers, and anyone who wants a portable laptop for everyday tasks. When you open the lid, the hinge feels smooth and solid, which is something Apple laptops are famous for. It's the kind of small detail that makes a device feel premium. And even though the MacBook Neo is designed to be affordable, Apple clearly tried to keep that premium feeling alive. But design alone isn't enough. The next thing people care about is the display. Display experience. Apple has always been known for producing some of the best laptop displays in the industry. The MacBook Neo continues that tradition, although with a slightly more budget-friendly approach. The display is bright, sharp, and comfortable for everyday use. Watching videos, browsing the internet, and working on documents feels smooth and enjoyable. Colors look natural and vibrant, which makes content look great whether you're watching YouTube videos or editing photos. Of course, because this is a budget MacBook, it may not reach the extreme brightness levels of more expensive models, but for normal indoor use, it still looks fantastic. And for most users, especially students or casual users, the display will feel more than good enough. Now let's talk about something even more important: performance. Performance and chip. Inside the MacBook Neo, Apple may be using a chip similar to the one found in their latest smartphones. This is a very interesting move because smartphone chips today are extremely powerful and energy efficient. That means the MacBook Neo could deliver surprisingly fast performance for everyday tasks. Opening apps, browsing with multiple tabs, watching videos, and working on documents should all feel smooth and responsive. For students doing assignments or people working online, the performance will likely feel more than enough. Of course, this laptop is not designed for extremely heavy workloads like advanced 3D rendering or high-end video production. But for everyday computing, it could actually feel very fast. And this is where Apple's hardware and software integration becomes important. Because macOS is optimized for Apple chips, the system can feel smooth even on hardware that might seem modest on paper. This brings us to another key advantage: battery life. Battery life. Battery life is one of the biggest strengths of modern MacBooks, and the MacBook Neo might continue that tradition. Thanks to Apple's efficient chip design, the laptop can potentially last many hours on a single charge. For students attending classes all day or people working remotely, long battery life is extremely important. Imagine leaving home in the morning, using your laptop throughout the day, and still having battery left in the evening. That kind of experience can completely change how convenient a laptop feels. And because Apple chips are known for efficiency, the MacBook Neo could deliver impressive endurance despite its lower price. But performance and battery are only part of the story. We also need to talk about the keyboard and everyday usability. Keyboard and trackpad. Typing on a MacBook has always been one of the best experiences in the laptop world. Apple keyboards usually feel comfortable, quiet, and accurate. The MacBook Neo keeps that familiar typing experience. Keys feel responsive, and the layout is easy to get used to. For students writing essays or professionals sending emails, this makes a big difference during long work sessions. The trackpad is another area where Apple laptops usually shine. It's large, smooth, and extremely precise. Gestures like scrolling, switching apps, and navigating the system feel natural and fluid. Once you get used to Apple's trackpad, it's honestly hard to go back to many Windows laptops. But a laptop isn't only about typing and browsing. Let's talk about ports and connectivity. Budget laptops often remove features to keep costs low, so the number of ports on the MacBook Neo might be slightly limited. However, Apple usually focuses on keeping things simple and modern. This means you may find USB-C ports for charging and accessories. Wireless connectivity, like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, will also ensure you can connect headphones, keyboards, and other devices easily. While power users may want more ports, most everyday users today rely heavily on wireless accessories and cloud storage. So for many people, the available connectivity will likely be enough. Now let's address the most important question. Why is this MacBook so cheap compared to other Apple laptops? There are several reasons Apple can sell the MacBook Neo at such a low price. First, the company may be using a mobile class chip that is cheaper to produce than high-end laptop processors. Second, some premium features from expensive MacBooks may be simplified or removed. And third, Apple might see this device as a way to attract millions of new users into the Mac ecosystem. Once people start using a MacBook, they often continue buying Apple products like iPhones, iPads, and AirPods. So even if the MacBook Neo has a lower profit margin, it could still help Apple grow its ecosystem. And that strategy has worked many times before. But before we finish, we need to answer the most important question. So is the MacBook Neo actually worth buying? For students, casual users, and people who simply want a reliable laptop for everyday tasks, the MacBook Neo could be an incredible option. It offers the Apple experience at a price that was almost impossible just a few years ago. You still get the elegant design, the smooth operating system, strong battery life, and the reliability Apple is known for. Of course, power users who need extreme performance may still prefer higher-end MacBooks. But for most people, the MacBook Neo might be the perfect entry point into the Mac world. And that's what makes this laptop so interesting. A MacBook that almost anyone can afford. But now I want to hear from you. If you had the chance to buy the MacBook Neo for $599, would you actually buy it? Or would you still choose a different laptop instead? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the MacBook Neo, make sure to subscribe for more upcoming tech reviews and comparisons, because the future of affordable Apple laptops might just be getting started.